When I first moved into this neighborhood, I thought I'd finally found peace. The streets were clean, the lawns looked like magazine covers, and everyone smiled just enough to seem friendly. It was the kind of place that made you believe problems couldn't survive behind those white fences. But I was wrong, so wrong. The first few weeks went by quietly. I kept to myself, unpacked slowly, and enjoyed the calm after years of city noise. Then the letters began. Small, polite reminders from the HOA. Fix this, adjust that, repaint your mailbox. I brushed it off. Every neighborhood has rules, right? But soon, I started to notice something strange. A silver Tesla kept pulling into my driveway, always late at night, always the same car. At first, I thought it was a mistake. Maybe someone confused my house with another. Until I saw her. Karen, the HOA's self-proclaimed enforcer. She wasn't there by accident. She was charging her Tesla using my power outlet. That was the moment I realized this neighborhood's biggest threat wasn't crime or chaos. It was entitlement wrapped in politeness, smiling while it stole from you. At first, I tried to be civil. The next morning, I walked over and mentioned what I'd seen. She just smiled that tight, patronizing smile and said, "Oh, it's just for a few minutes. You wouldn't mind helping your neighbors, would you?" That tone, sweet on the surface, condescending underneath, set off alarms. I told her plainly it wasn't okay. She shrugged, unplugged, and drove off without another word. I thought that was the end of it. It wasn't. The following night, my security light flicked on again. Same Tesla. Same cable. This time, she didn't even pretend to hide it. So I left her another note, polite but firm. The next day, the HOA sent me a letter about keeping positive community relations. I couldn't believe it. They were siding with her. Then came the whispers. Neighbors started avoiding eye contact. The HOA president hinted that I was creating unnecessary tension, all because I didn't want someone stealing my electricity. The irony? They called it community spirit. That's when I realized I wasn't just dealing with a rude neighbor. I was facing a network of people who believed rules only applied to others. I wasn't going to let them bully me into silence. Once Karen realized I wasn't backing down, things got ugly fast. One morning, I found my trash can knocked over and my front gate left open. A week later, someone smeared dirt across my car windshield. Coincidence? Maybe. But then came the message. A piece of paper taped to my front door. Be a team player. No signature. Just those 4 words, written in thick black marker. I called the HOA again, but they brushed me off, said I was overreacting. The same afternoon, my mailbox was stuffed with flyers about kindness in the community. It was laughable. So, I started documenting everything. Every visit, every threat, every smear of dirt. My cameras captured Karen's Tesla pulling in at 2 a.m., headlights off. That's when it stopped being funny. I showed the footage to the HO. They told me to delete it. That's when I knew they were protecting her. They saw her as one of their own. And me? I was the outsider. But if they thought fear would make me back down, they didn't know me at all. They just convinced me to fight smarter and harder. The night everything changed started like any other. I was out for dinner with a friend when I got a notification from my security system. Movement detected near my driveway. I opened the app. Karen's Tesla. Again. Only this time, something was different. Sparks flickered at the outlet. Within seconds, my camera feed went black. My power had surged so violently, half my house went dark. I raced home to find the smell of burned plastic in the air and my electrical box smoking. Karen was gone, her tire tracks still fresh. I called the fire department, then the police. The fire chief said it could have been an overloaded connection. The officer took notes but didn't sound convinced. When I confronted the ADO, they acted horrified. "That's terrible," they said. But their smirks gave them away. They thought I'd finally learned my lesson, keep quiet or get burned. But I wasn't angry. I was focused. If they wanted to play with fire, they were about to meet someone who knew how to control it. I stopped arguing. I stopped calling. I stopped complaining. Instead, I made one phone call to my friend at the city's utilities department. Within hours, the team came out to inspect the damage. What they found was clear: unauthorized power use, tampering, and dangerous overloads traced back to one vehicle, Karen's Tesla. I compiled the evidence, footage, timestamps, utility data, and eyewitness accounts. When I turned it over to my attorney, he smiled and said, "They have no idea who they messed with." You see, I wasn't just a homeowner. I was a licensed electrical engineer with years of safety and infrastructure experience. I built systems Karen couldn't begin to understand. And now I was using that expertise to expose her. Within days, the HOA got a visit from inspectors. They pulled utility records and found multiple violations linked to unauthorized usage across several homes. Most of them traced to her. The HOA president panicked. Suddenly, their model board member was under investigation. The power balance shifted instantly. Karen tried to deny everything until the utility company showed her the data. Her car's serial number matched the usage logs exactly. The overloaded circuit had damaged not only my line but also her own charger. Her Tesla's warranty was voided. I didn't even have to lift a finger. Karma had done it for me. The HOA was fined for negligence, and Karen was forced to pay restitution for property damage and theft of electricity. The same people who once mocked me were now whispering apologies. The HOA president resigned within the month. A new board took over, one that actually followed the law. And Karen, she sold her Tesla and moved out quietly, leaving behind nothing but a reputation scorched worse than her battery. Sometimes standing up for yourself doesn't require shouting. It just requires patience, evidence, and a little spark of justice. Karen thought she could drain my power without consequence. Instead, she learned something every bully forgets. When you take advantage of the wrong person, eventually the current flows back.